As world leaders converge to address global issues at the 76th UN General Assembly, African leaders have been pushing for more action to provide low-income countries with means to achieve sustainable development goals. COVID-19, climate change, poverty, peace and human rights topped the list of issues being addressed at the 76th UN General Assembly by the African leaders. Highlighting how African countries carry the greatest burden and cost, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa said climate change is a global problem, yet poor countries are particularly vulnerable.
For the forthcoming COP26 in Glasgow, to respond adequately to the crisis we face, we need to see greater ambition and progress on mitigation, adaptation, and the means of implementation. COP26 must therefore launch a formal program of work on the implementation of the global goal on adaptation.
With the continent struggling to build strong economies, African heads of states have also been addressing economic reliance in the course of programs geared towards building economies that are not dependent on Western charity and donations.
No Africa wanted to be scars on anybody's conscience. I said we want to build economies that are not dependent on charity and handouts, because long and bitter experiences have taught us that no matter how generous the charity, we would remain poor. Between 2017 to 2020, Ghana recorded an average growth rate of 7%, amongst the highest in the world. In 2020, when the global economy in sub-Saharan Africa has contracted by 3.5% and 2.1% respectively, Ghana was one of the few countries that produced a positive growth rate.
Sierra Leone's President Julius MAADO urged the United Nations to collaborate with African bodies such as the African Union and ECOWAS to resolve conflicts confronting African countries towards sustained peace and tranquility.
Our sub-region in Africa are confronted with peace deficit arising from violent extremism, piracy, and other forces of instability. The Continental African Union and sub-regional ECOWAS are fully engaged. We urge greater collaboration and closer partnerships by the United Nations with these bodies and governments to usher in a more peaceful sub-region. My country provides leadership to the group of 7+, G7+, conflict-affected and fragile countries.
As global leaders advocate for peace, the struggle to end armed conflicts in Africa remains a huge challenge as the region continues to witness a resurgence of terrorism, drastically hindering continental peace.
We also need to re-emphasize the importance of citizen-centered governance and accountability. This not only guarantees well-being and material progress, but also security, stability, and confidence in the future. The extremist ideologies that drive terrorism and genocide must be named, identified early, and dismantled without ambiguity or hesitation.
With the debate spinning around pressing issues hindering development in Africa, leaders call for stronger unionism among developing nations to tackle crucial global problems and achieve the SDGs. Aminata E.Sanyang, JULIUS.